Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I think it's been a bit since I posted last, but I'm trying to post more often. I feel like I say that every time I make a video, but I am. My last video I made about K-pop Demon Hunters got a lot of views. Like, I think last time I checked it was like 600, so that's really cool. But so I decided that in honor of that, I wanted to improve my channel a little bit. So since I want my channel to grow and, maybe one day even do this as a job, I decided that I should probably give my channel a concrete theme. And in case you don't know what that is, it's basically just branding. And luckily for me, it's something I really like doing. I also really wanted to do it because I always think it's cool when a channel has a theme that it sort of stays within. It can help your channel to be more recognizable, and it can help people to know what kind of videos you're going to post, so, more subscribers and views and stuff. But I also thought that it would just be a better way to get myself to actually make videos, because then I wouldn't be struggling to think of, video topics, because I already had a theme for what my channel is going to do. So I decided that I wanted to pick two main things to sort of represent my channel aesthetic. The first one you can probably guess is Y2K, sort of webcore styles. I've always liked webcore as a style. I think that all the different elements and colors really make it visually interesting. Some big inspirations for this specific style for me were Enna. It's a YouTube video series. It's really good though. You should check it out. And the second one was a YouTube channel. Her name's Emma Artley. She uses more of a Frutiger Arrow style, which is a kind of subsection of webcore. It's a whole thing. I'll show some images so you can sort of get a sense for what the style's like. Using a sort of webcore style also helped out because so I've been meaning to make a sort of frame for my videos. It's the thing on screen right now. But because all of my videos are sort of in different formats right now, which isn't the best for YouTube, but if I used a frame that could keep the video in it, then it would be better so that they'd all be in the same format. And also because I find it a bit more visually interesting than just having a blank page with a few sketches on it. I personally really like how this frame turned out, but I do think that maybe all the different visuals could be a bit abrasive and distracting. So I might change it, but for now, I'm going to keep it like this. I also decided to make some other sort of frames for things like photos, videos, potentially audio if I ever use that. I also made one for websites, but I don't think I'm going to end up using that. I might make some other things for text, but for now I have these. But you would have seen them already because I'm going to insert pictures. So if I did my editing job correctly, you'd have seen them. Oh, and also, just before I wrap up this session, the background was, in case you didn't know, it was inspired by the old Windows XP background, but I changed it to have the two colors that I wanted for my channel, which were red and cyan. Also, I added a UFO in the background because of the next element I'm going to be discussing in the next section, which is aliens. I thought that would be a nice addition to my theme of webcore. But yeah, that's all the things I made for this. I think they all turned out really well, and I'm really proud of how it looks. The next part of this video that I wanted to do was designing myself a persona. If you've watched pretty much any YouTuber before, especially if you watch art YouTube a lot, then you're gonna have seen what a persona is, even if you don't know what it is, but it's basically just how it sounds. It's an online way to represent yourself and stuff. There's a lot of different things that a persona itself can be, but it basically all just boils down to a drawing of yourself that you can use to represent yourself if you don't want to show your face or anything. There were two major things that I wanted from my persona. The first one was that I wanted it to fit the overall channel theming, so I decided to use the same color palette that I did with everything else, so, red and teal, very bright red and teal. And I also wanted to incorporate the other theme that I had talked about a bit earlier, which is aliens. I personally really like aliens. I think it's fun to like research them and see all the different theories that people have on what they're like. I also thought it would be a good way to keep its design close to a human while still like giving me more creative freedom with everything. I also wanted to incorporate things that were specific to me. I decided to include the headphones and bag, which are both based off of real things that I have, as well as you'll see it later, some pins. Some of them are things I actually have, and others are things that I'd like to have, I guess, or that I thought would look nice. I also decided to make the hair teal because I dye my hair a lot, and a lot of the time I dye it that color. But I did later get rid of the red highlights in the hair because it was so hard to draw for everything else, so don't get too attached to those. And for the drawing I did on screen, this was sort of just like planning everything out, so I didn't have any line art, really. I just colored over the sketch. I think it turned out nice though, and I think it helped me to plan out and map out like everything else that I was going to do with what you'll see later in the video. Overall, I think I did a pretty good job. I definitely like how the character itself turned out, and I think I did a pretty good job of using the colors and everything. The next thing I decided to draw were some emotes, which are basically just your persona reacting or like showing like emotions in a way that you would be if people could like actually see you talking. This can help like to show your audience how you're feeling about a certain topic. It also is good for if you're just talking about something and you don't really have like a speed draw to go underneath it, and because then you can just have that instead of like a blank screen or anything. It's much more visually appealing. I just did about 6, I think I did 6 basic emotes for this. I might make more later, but for now I think this is the right amount that I need. I did find out though from doing this that as much as I like how my character looks, it can be a bit of a pain to draw them and like all the pins and stuff, so I might remember that for later if I ever want to redesign them. Right, this part was probably the part that took the longest out of everything in this video, just because, like I said before, of all the details and stuff on the character and having to draw them over and over again. And I realized after I drew all of the stuff that I could have just drew a few heads or poses and then you mix and match those to show different emotions, which would have been much more effective and took way less time, but I didn't do that. So this is what we have. I think they look pretty good though, and they show like the right emotions that I think I might need for now, so yeah. And finally, the last thing I made was a channel banner, which is just the thing you see hanging over the profile picture and everything, the about stuff. I figured that this would be something that would be relatively easy after the hell that was making all the emotes. But it was pretty easy. I pretty much just doodled a little chibi version of my persona and remodeled one of the like the error sign things. So, you know, wasn't too hard. And that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. This video took so long to make, so if you liked it, please give it a like, maybe subscribe so you can see any videos I do in the future. If you have any ideas for videos, please let me know in the comments down below. I have a couple ideas, but I'm always welcome to more. But yeah, once again, thank you for watching. Bye!